Central one time when the line burst. You hear the guy screaming to evacuate the space. That time we lost one sailor who wasn't able to get out. A very dangerous place to work down there. A lot of stuff can go wrong. In 1983, they had a very, very bad fire in one of the machinery rooms. We lost 6 guys. The spirit of the sailors, though, they actually rebuilt that engine room underway, got back onto full power, and continued their mission. Let's go forward. We're going to continue going forward. If you turn the camera here to your right, you're going to see one of the wardrooms here. Again, there's wardrooms dotted throughout the ship. Nice one there for higher level officers. Let's go forward. A lot of storage area spaces like that off to our left. If you look right here, right behind us here, this is a fuel transfer station. So, or not, actually the blending station, excuse me, they look similar. So once the tank was empty of fuel, it would be flooded with salt water to keep the ballast of the ship. So you could flood and pump tanks from this station here. As you took on fuel, you would pump the tank, replace it with fuel. Now people are going, wait a minute, you put fuel and salt water in the same tank? Yes, we did, to keep the ballast. Down below, there's machines that would actually separate the salt water from the oil from any water that was left over inside the tank. Otherwise, you lose all if you use your fuel, the ship would ride higher and higher and higher, and it makes it more difficult for the pilots to land when the deck is pitching and rolling. So let's keep going forward here. Right here in this room would be where they did our paychecks. So that was one room we liked. They did automatic data control, something along those lines. Computers from the 1980s, very, very old computers. Going to follow me in over here. This would be a typical stateroom for a command level officer. It has one bed in it, has carpet, a sink. So this would be a one-man commander's office. We're going to be up to the XO's office here real soon. So let's take a walk forward. Number 2 main machinery room right here, same thing, another one of the machinery rooms that we can't go into. Sorry, Snipes, but maybe next time. Another birding compartment, officer's passage down through there. Fan rooms. And here's some blue tile, so I think we found the XO's cabin. Follow me. If you notice here, the captain, the admiral, and the XO are guarded by Marines. Marines took care of these spaces. You didn't come back here unless you have business. If you ended up in the XO's office, this is where it would be. Now the Navy does military time, which is 1 through 24, 0 through 24. The Navy does have a play on words for 8 o'clock reports. 8 o'clock reports were taken at 2000 hours, 8 o'clock at night. All the department heads from the ship would meet here, report to the XO the business of the day. The XO would then carry that information to the captain. Over here you have the executive officer's bedroom and his, we have lights in here, and the lights are not working. There we go, we do have some lights. So this would be the executive officer's bathroom, his small bedroom, had a twin bed in here, and a mirror, his locker space. Generally, when you were an executive officer on an aircraft carrier, if everything went well, your next command would be the CO. So as you see, very nice accommodations again. Rank has its privileges. Follow me out through here. We're going to have the executive officer's office here, and this is where the staff that work for the executive officer helped him do his job. This would be their workspace. There'll be some desks in here. Obviously, everything's been removed. Follow me back to the main passageway. So we're back here to the main passageway. We're going to work our way forward here. Just a fan room here, nothing too much to look at. Down here we're going to have a little storage, a couple offices. Have another office over here. And down here, this will be number 4 main machinery room. This will be number 4 main machinery room. One of the 4 main machines of the ship engines. Ranger was capable of producing about 250,000 horsepower to move 80,000 tons of steel through the water in excess of 30 miles an hour. I'm going to walk right down here. This is dental. Sailors get toothaches. They need teeth pulled. The smaller ships don't have the capability, But on board the carrier, the center of the battle group, if there's a dental emergency or you need some dental work done, they can bring you from the smaller ship, bring you on board the carrier, and let's go see the dental office. So here would be your waiting room. You would have had a small bench here where sailors would have waited. And we have the individual rooms here. And let's see what kind of lights we got here. Well, we've got a little better lighting on this one over here, so let's walk over here. This is actually one of the dental rooms, just like the dentist office at home. There would have been a chair here, dental chair. You would have your equipment here. You have x-ray capabilities. You have your wash facilities, the drills, everything needed. One thing you can't have in the Navy is braces. They do not have orthodontists in the Navy, so if you have braces, you have to have them removed before you join the military. We'll walk back out here a little bit. Over here in this room here, this was where they developed those x-rays. Once you got them taken in the chair, they were bringing them over here and take care of the developing of those x-rays. We have some artwork here. This would have been one of the cruises. It doesn't say, but you can see you left San Diego to Hawaii, over to Japan, made the Gonzo station in the Persian Gulf. You came back, the equator there, you came back to the Philippines, back to Guam, Saipan, Hawaii, back home. So nice artwork the sailors have done throughout the time. Here you have the last Westpac Ranger did, 1992-93, Southern Watch Operation Restore Hope. If you remember, that was for the Somalia government. When the government was falling apart, President George Bush sent the carrier task force over there to help feed the starving people. On that cruise, they pulled 100 teeth, they filled 100 teeth, they did 25 root canals, they did 25 crowns, they did 500 Class 5 exams, they did 50 cleanings, and 4 individual sailors had to be backed off the Ranger because the work that required was more extensive than they could handle. And so, best thing about the Ranger dental office was you got your teeth cleaned, you got your crown, and there wasn't a bill. So that was a nice bonus. You had to get drilled, but you didn't get a bill. Let's go forward. So we're working our way forward here. As we're starting to get into the medical science, you can see here on the floor, Ranger had an extensive medical wing. We had a 60-bed hospital, we had a 4-bed ICU ward, and we had 4 operating rooms. So let's take a look at the hospital. So I'm standing inside one of Ranger's hospital wards. As you can see, multiple bunks, room for gear, medical equipment in between them. And so if you had casualties, this is where they'd be. Now under peacetime, a lot of stuff's going on here. There's broken legs, first aid, people hurt on the job. A lot of on-the-job injuries, a very dangerous place to work. On board this ship, if you had to have an emergency surgery, Ranger had the ability to take care of your surgery. We're going to walk forward and look at one of those emergency rooms. As we go forward here, we're going to be in one of Ranger's 4 operating rooms. So let's enter the operating room now. As you can see here, looks like a regular hospital lighting. You're going to have an operating table down here. You're going to have medical stores, equipment, supplies, oxygen. You're going to have everything you need to do a complete operation in here. Now understand, if your appendix bursts and we're in a storm and they need to operate, they're going to be, this is not still like it is now. This is going to be rolling and shifting. So not only does the surgeon have to have a steady hand on a stable platform like we are, think of how much more stable that hand had to be at sea in a rolling and slashing deck. So we're thankful for the doctors that served on here and kept the sailors in good shape. In addition to the hospital, the operating room, they did normal routines, checkups, physicals, everything a local hospital could do, a small town hospital could do, they could do on board Ranger. As we're going forward here, let's take a detour into number 2, emergency diesel generator. On board Ranger, there's 3 emergency diesel generators that run the ship's electrical system should the steam turbine generators go down. Up above the board here, as I walk back here, these are electrical panels that would run from the generator up to the electrical panel, disperse it throughout the ship. Over here is the business end of the generator. Generators are, you see, 2 stories tall. They're about 20 feet long. Extremely huge motors, extremely noisy motors, and when these things were lit off on board Ranger, you knew it, because the whole area around it shakes really bad. If you walk over here with me, you can see the head, you can see the exhaust valves, intake valves, the exhaust up throughout the ship. And down over on this end here is the generator. So the diesel would start up. Down here you have the generator. It would turn the generator, sending power through the switchboards up into the ship, disperses the power. Let's go down below and take a look at this thing. I'm not sure how many miles a gallon it gets, but it looks pretty big to me, and I wouldn't want to have to pay the fuel bill. I'm going to go on down here. Oh, it's kind of dark on this side, I guess, so let's go to the other side and we get a little better view here. A little tight, watch your head. So here's the business end of the emergency diesel generator. You have your heads, your block, your pistons and crank are going to be down here. Your injectors, your pumps. Down here is the Westinghouse generator. Here's your timing marks, tells you how to time your motor just like you time your automobile if you're working on it. You have your lube oil to keep everything lubed and operated and running efficiently. And then down here you have your generator. Again, there's 3 of these on board Ranger, and in a pinch it sure was nice to be able to turn these on and keep the lights going, keep the combat systems running until we get the system fixed down below and get the steam generators back online. Let's go see the machine shop now. Follow me. Now welcome down to the 3rd level. What we're going to see here is we're going to see the sheet metal shop, the rewind shop, and the machine shop. So follow me over here into the sheet metal shop. Down here, the haul techs would work with sheet metal, making the items we needed, from everyday items to specialty items. You're going to have equipment here. You've got your brake, you've got a sheet metal shear there, you've got a bender over here, you've got your sheet metal work table, welding equipment, grinders, drill presses, vices, angle iron. Since Ranger was in ready reserve, she was left stocked in some items, and she's fully stocked for the machine, for the sheet metal shop here. This was HTR division area. Let's follow me over to A-gang. And again, I'm partial to A-gang because I served in A-gang. But before we get to A-gang, we're going to go to the rewind shop. The motor rewind shop was where the E division worked. Pretty sparse right now. The equipment's been removed. But this is where they would rewind very large 4 or 5 foot 6 diameter motors down here. You see some of the equipment is still here. But again, it's been stripped pretty good. Follow me into the machine shop. Now on board a carrier, anything can break, from parts on the catapult equipment, the resting gear equipment, the planes themselves, pumps. So you had to have the ability out to sea. You can't order something. It takes a long time to get there logistically. So here, we can make it. So if you follow me around here, they left the machine shop well stocked here. We've got every kind of machine equipment you could imagine, certainly industrial size. We've got a fully stocked rack of stock ready to make whatever we might need: brass, stainless, solid metal. We've got vices. We've got a 25-inch Lodge and Shipley lathe here. Huge equipment. This is a huge ship, and a lot of parts are rather large. If you come over here, we've got the Raging Hulk. We've got some really good artwork here that some of the sailors have done to personalize their equipment. A little pride in what they're doing. If you follow me around here, we'll go back over here to the other side. More lathes. You've got presses. more lays, more lays. And on this one here, I think there's some good work done. Little Mickey Mouse guy there, and we had some artwork here, and it's been removed. Here it shows you there's a machine shop here, a little bit of artwork down there. More equipment, more stock. So you come in, you'd meet the machinery repairman here, you'd have your ordered shit, you give it to him, they take it, you'd exit out over here, which is where we're going to exit. Before we leave here, we're going to be in the oil lab. You follow me into here. Very important part of the engineering department is the oil lab. They would be checking all the fuel and all the oil for contaminants in water. You did not want to run contaminated oil or contaminated lube into any of your equipment. It would cause major problems. So the guy down here, he would check it. He's checking for contaminants. They have a little area here they can operate in back here. So you'd have your supplies, your different samples, your tools, your equipment to check for